Hello and welcome to Create Crochet with me, Rebecca. I still haven't blocked this square here and I'm going to wait until the very end. So we're going to be working on our third square of our crochet along, and this is a waffle stitch which we are going to use a trellis, which we're going to call a trellis because I can imagine flowers growing along this. So let's get on and make. So to create your waffle stitch, or as we're calling it, the trellis, you're going to need a previous square. And you see how we did this one? This one was February, so it's the second one that we did. And we counted in threes for this one. Well, we're going to do exactly the same principle in counting for three. So the easiest way to do it is count how many blocks of colours you've got, and then chain that amount to start your trellis. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's a 30 chain. So we can move that one to the side now. So now we're just going to, and I hope you're going to be able to see this because I've decided to do it in this cream, as you saw. So we're going to go ahead and chain 29 because we're going to be doing a chain as the first double crochet. I'll show you what I mean. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28 and 29. Okay, so after we've done the 29th, we're going to crochet. I would hold the 29th just to make it really obvious as to where it is. 1, 2, 3, and we're going to double crochet into that one that we just made, which is the 30th of the whole chain. So double crochet into there like so. So effectively now we have 1 double crochet, which of course is that chain, and then 2 double crochet. So I'll zoom in. So now we need to start going along in proper along the chain, and we're going to double crochet all the way along, and that will give us a really good foundation to continue doing our trestle or waffle stitch. So yarn over into the next chain that we come to and pull up a loop. So you've got 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, come through 2, yarn over and come through 2. Let me show you that once more. Yarn over into the next stitch that we come to and pull up a loop, yarn over, take off 2, yarn over and take off 2. And as I said, you're going to carry all the way along your chain, and I will see you lovely folks back here. So this is what you should have now, 1 complete row of double crochet counting in threes. So I have 30 in total. So from here we're going to chain 2. That gives us the height of our double crochet. So then we're going to turn our work. Okay, so you're with me so far. Now we're going to be doing some back post stitches. So into this first one here, which is where the chain looks like it's coming out of, we're going to be doing a normal double crochet into there, like so. This next one that we come to, so we have the chain here, and then this is the next one that we come to. We're going to do a front post double crochet. So that's a double crochet, but just placed in a different way. So yarn over, we're going to go pull the stitch forward and complete our double crochet as we've just done. So it really does pull that stitch forward. It will become more apparent the further along that we go. Into the next 2 we're going to do a double crochet. So into the top of the stitch as normal, for 1 and 2. And then we're just going to repeat this process all the way along. And this is a 2-row repeat. So this is row 1 of the repeat. So into this next one, we're going to do a front post double crochet. And just complete it as normal. And then into the next 2, we're just going to do a double crochet. And make sure that you are skipping this top one here, not skipping it, but you're not going into here as a double crochet. This yarn doesn't half pick up all the bits, so we're not doing our double crochet into this stitch because that is where our front post double crochet is. So it's this next one that we're going to be placing our next double crochet. So we do 2 of those, so that's 1 and 2 into the top of the previous row's double crochet, and then this one becomes a front post. So that's where our 3s come into it. So you're doing a front post double crochet and then 2 normal double crochets to make up the 3. So I'll show you once more. So we've got 2 double crochets as normal, like so. And then in this one, which is the next one that we come to, we're going to do our front post. Okay, so that's what it should start to look like. These stitches become raised and it gives it a bit of texture. I'll carry on to the end and I'll see you in a second. So we're about to come to the end of our row, and I just wanted to show you that I've just done the front post double crochet here, and then I do a double crochet and a double crochet, and then I do a front post double crochet, but then we want to give our work a bit of a border. So what we then need to do is do a double crochet into the previous round's turning chain. So we just whack a double crochet into there. So we have a front post double crochet, and then the last stitch that we make on our every single round is a double crochet like that, and that will give us the same this end as that end. So then we chain 2, 1, 2 and turn, and that's how we start every single round, every single row. So I said that this was a 2-row repeat, so that's row 1 where you do a front post double crochet, 2 normals and carry on. This one is you're going to be doing front post double crochets into these normal ones, and I'll carry on and show you because it gets if I try and describe it, it gets a bit weird. So into this first one we're going to pop our double crochet, our normal one, in there. Where on the previous round we did our front post double crochet, which is this one here, this time we are just going to do a normal double crochet into the top of it, like so. And where last round we just did normal double crochets, it's those 2 that we're going to be doing our front post double crochet on. So you're oppositing it. So what you did on the previous round is you go against it this round. So you do front post double crochet, front post double crochet, and then a normal top of the stitch double crochet. Okay, so these are the 2 normal ones that we did at the top of the previous row stitch. So those are the 2 that we're going to do a front post double crochet. So into this next one as well, so I'm going completely round that stitch. And then where we did the front post double crochet, we're going to just do a top of the stitch double crochet. So now if I turn it over to the right side, you can see the squares beginning to really take shape. So this is where we are now doing our front post double crochet, and this is our front post double crochet of the first round, because we don't count this starting one here, and of the repeat this is the second round. So I'll do it once more with you just so you've really got the knack of it. So that we did on top of the previous round stitch. So these two are front posts. And then these bits of those stitches are what sticks forward to give us the top of our square. See, if I was trying to describe this to someone who didn't have a hook and yarn in their hand, it would get very confusing very quickly. So this is the front post double crochet from the previous round, of which we just go into the top of. And then these two are our front post. And once you start working it, it will be really apparent where you do a front post and where you do a top of the stitch double crochet. So let's have a look and turn it the right way round to see what that looks like now. There you go. Looking really pretty. So I'm going to carry on to the end. You do the same and we'll catch up with each other just there. So I've just done my last two front post double crochet, and then this one is a top of the stitch double crochet, but then I still have one more to do, and that's the one where we're only going to put one top of the stitch double crochet, chain 2 and turn our work, and that is what your work should hopefully look like at this point, that the front post double crochet has another stitch like it directly on top and not to the side of it. So that is our 2-row repeat. I'm going to do the first row again with you just to make sure it's completely fresh in your brain. I'm going to zoom out, I think that's getting a bit fuzzy. So 2 chain, and then into here we're going to put our top of the stitch double crochet like so. Then if you look at your work, you can see where you now need to do the front post, which is that one there. So straight in there. And then 2 top ones. And so you've guessed it, this one is a front post. And then 2 top. And then a front post. So there you can see we're making the next square. So you carry on and I will see you right at the end, because there is something I want to show you. I don't want to just finish off completely and cut your yarn. I want to show you how to finish this off particularly. And so at the just as a recap, chain 2 to start every row, turn your work, double crochet into the same stitch where the chain comes out of, and then straight away double crochet, that one there. If you're looking at your work and you can see these ridges, you do 1 front post double crochet and then 2 top of the stitch double crochets. If you turn your work and it's fairly flat, you do 2 front post double crochets and then 1 top of the stitch, and it's exactly the same start. And then to finish your row, front post or back post, and then you should have 1 double crochet after this. Have fun and I will see you at the end. So you've got to the end of your waffle or trestle as we're calling it. If you're watching this video just to see how to do the waffle stitch, at this point you would just fasten off and weave in your ends. For the purposes of the crochet along, make sure that the does measure the same as the other squares that you have made. Now with regards to the crochet along, make sure when you fasten off that you have enough yarn so that when it comes to positioning your square next to it, that you can happily use this yarn to fasten these 2 squares together. So the way I do that is, before I've done anything, I've still got my last stitch on my hook there. I come down once and back up, and twice and back up. That gives me enough yarn that when I sew it together, I know I've got enough then to sew it together or single crochet it together or slip stitch, whichever method you choose. I have enough and I've got enough to weave in. So now I always chain one just to fasten that absolute last stitch and pull through all of that yarn, and that then fastens it together, and you have enough yarn there to attach your corresponding square. Don't put your squares together until the very, very end, but those are the 3 squares that you should have right now. I've been Rebecca of Create Crochet. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye!